Now, you oftentimes think, how stupid were people to worship idols when they're not real? Of course, the idol itself is not real, but that doesn't mean there's no reality behind that. That made them doesn't mean it's justified. It explains, and it doesn't justify. Explains why they behaved that way. Why did previous people were so dumb and worshipped idols? Answer, quite simply, is that idols, there was a reality behind them, which means that they were demons. The reality behind them is that they were demons. Demons terrorized humans like unseen bullies. And the idol, because they're unseen, you can't see the jinn. What did Iblis say? Iblis said, I will lead them astray, but also make me unseen to them. And Allah granted him all that. All right, go on, go do it. So for most of human history, from the flood, before the flood even, 950 years before the flood, all the way, I would say, to Christianity, when idolatry really started to suffer badly. That's what, 10 generations. We said from Noah to Abraham is 10 generations. We don't know how many years, because people lived long lives. And then from Abraham to Jesus is about 2,000 years, right? And then Jesus to Muhammad is 600 years. And then Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam all the way to us is 1450 years. So for that bulk of time, the jinns, shayateen, were like unseen bullies to human beings. And jinns and shayateen lived in certain areas. And so those people would be scared, bullied, terrorized by demons. And when would the demon give them some reprieve? When they committed shirk. Worship this idol, that's me. And so every people had an idol. بَلْ كَانُوا يَعْبُدُونَ الْجِنَّ. Okay. So when they worshipped these demons, these idols, they worshipped them because the demon, the shaitan, was terrorizing them. And Islam came, actually, monotheism, it came to free them from this. Is basically say, you don't have this, there is someone bigger than him. And this actually explains why the rhetoric, the language in the Bible is the God of Israel. Why not just say God? No, because at that time, every people had a God. And they defined a God in their mind. It was just someone more powerful, an unseen force that's more powerful than you, symbolized by the idol. And these demons would terrorize the people. So if you went to an area, and this is found in Surah Al-Jinn, the tafsir of Surah Al-Jinn, if you would go travel to an area, you would ask, is there a God here? What they really meant was, is there a demon here that we have to be afraid of? So the Arabs, when they would go into a valley or would go into an empty desert and they have to spend the night there, okay, they would call out, who is the jinn of this land? Who is the demon of this land? That we can honor you, protect us. And of course the jinn want to lead them astray and enjoy terrorizing them and want to see them. Iblis wants to see people worshiping other than Allah, so they set up some idol in place because they can't see the jinn. And Allah tells us here, right here, Surah Saba, قالوا سبحانك أنت ولينا من دونهم بل كانوا يعبدون الجن. So idolatry, every tribe had an idol, every country had an idol, every island had an idol, and it was a demon there that lived there that terrorized them. So that's why in the Bible they say, well, who's Israel's God? This tribe of people, who's their God? And they use this language, the God of Israel, all the time. And then these gods sometimes would clash. Who has a greater God? Who has a bigger God? And they would see that when they were pious, the God of Israel would destroy these other gods and priests. So when Nebuchadnezzar, in the time of the prophet Daniel, when prophet Daniel did miracles, what did Nebuchadnezzar say? Nebuchadnezzar said, oh, Daniel, you have a great God. And that idea was that, okay, you have a God too. You got a demon too. Just like I have one. It didn't register for him. No, this is the Lord and creator of all these other things, and he's in control of them. So what did Nebuchadnezzar do after he saw Daniel's miracles? He said, all right, we'll add your God to the pantheon. When Muslims went to India, they had the same concept. You go to this tribe, they got a demon there, they got a god. They don't call him a demon, they call him a god. They got a god there. Really what it is a jinn. He's like a bully. Okay, you can't mess around. He'll terrorize you and your family if you don't do certain things. Now, if you move, you're free from him. You go and you worship another god there, right? Then the Muslims came in and they had miracles and they did amazing things. Oh, okay, you guys got a strong one too. We'll add you to the list. Add your god to the list to play it safe. That's how the people in the old world used to do it. Is they used to view these, what they would call a god, but really what they meant was it's a demon. So this was shirk. This was the logic behind shirk. And this is what Iblis wanted them to do. This was his challenge. He said, I'm going to lead them all astray. So he wanted shirk for them. And the monotheistic religions and prophets came to free people from this. Prophets came and said, people, you don't have to worry about these gods anymore. This revelation will block them, will stop them. You don't have to, false gods, I should say. You don't have to worry about these, remove these idols, and don't worry about all these demons. That's what the monotheistic religions came for the people, to free them from this. Al-aghlal allati kanat alayhim. That's what it says. The aghlal allati kanat alayhim. The chains, they shackled themselves by fear of these idols. Right? That's the concept in that, and why idolatry existed, and why they used to call God in the Bible the God of Israel, because everyone had a God. But they didn't register that this is the creator. This is, and why didn't they like the Israelites? That God is aggressive towards their gods. It's like if one tribe had a God, the Assyrians have a God, the Babylonians have a God, the Greeks have a God, the Romans have a God, and they all meet. They're all pretty much in the same league. They respect each other's gods, right? It's the same league. You got your bullies, I got our bullies, etc. We got our stories that we tell, you got your stories, we got our idols, you got your idols. Now comes the Israelites say, all this should be torn down. And none of these gods are God. They're just demons. They're nothing but demons. And that's why there was this aggression against the Israelites, because the Israelites themselves, their message from their prophets is very aggressive towards these demons and these gods. And for a Muslim today to fear demons, no, it's not for us. It's not. It's a sign that there's some kind of, maybe some sin, some ignorance, some reason to believe Allah wouldn't help you because of some sins that you did. But ultimately, we don't have this concept that we're shaking in our boots from demons and bullies, etc., when we have Allah with us. Right? But anyway, that's the logic behind why idolatry had existed in the past, and how Christianity came, spread much further than Judaism, but still it was shaky. Yes, they're against demons. Yes, they mention God, Jesus, Moses, but it's not God's religion anymore when you completely altered it with the Trinity. What it does become then, the demons do hate any mention of God. So now, when Islam came, it even further broke down the power of devils and idols.